So I'm trying to celebrate my birthday, but one might think a normal birthday includes cake. But considering that because of my past issues of having Lyme disease and other ailments, I have a lot of food sensitivities and allergies, and I have a pretty strict diet. I mean, out of the three of us who have strict diets, mine is the least strict, but it's still, compared to other college students like me, it's still pretty strict. But one thing about living a life of having chronic illnesses and autism is we can spend all our lives wallowing around saying, oh, woe is me, I've got this big barrier of blah, 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 you know, or we can say, you know what, yes, I have these conditions, but that doesn't mean I can't still be me and I still can't live. So, so I guess if you refer to the life of having chronic illness as a war, I decided to make a compromise with it. I'm gonna get my birthday cake, gosh dang it! I'm still young enough for a birthday cake and I'm gonna get it, but it's gotta be a healthy cake. So, that's what I'm gonna do today. So, I'm going to say a disclaimer beforehand. I am not a professional cook. I'm just your average 20-year-old trying to follow a freaking box recipe. I don't know how this is going to go. I mean, this is the first time that I have actually, like, worked hard to create a health-conscious cake. Like, I literally still remember last year, while I was making my geode cake, I remember being like, this is the last time that I will ever have a normal birthday cake. So, point being, like, sad story aside, point being, I've never cooked a carb-conscious healthy cake before. So, I don't know how this is gonna go. It could taste great, it could taste dry, it could be a total flop. I went to my local, how do I describe this store? Most people are going to describe it as a Whole Foods store. I think it's a hippie store, but to each his own. So I went to my local hippie store, and I got this cake mix. This is chocolate cake mix. Get it closer to the camera so you can see. It's by the company Swerve. And it's ketogenic, which is good. It's gluten-free, which is also good. I checked the label. It's low in the carb department. There's very little sugar. And let's see, what does it use for? Oh, it uses like Swerve brand sugar replacements. So when I found this on the shelf, I was like, okay, this is a good brand and this is what I want. So we just added 1/3 cup of water. Now the recipe calls for 1/3 cup of oil. I'm going to use avocado oil today. Something we found at Costco, and it's good for cooking and such. I don't know. Ooh, look at that. It's a little more powdery than normal cake mix really is, but we'll work with it. When we work one of these mixer thingies, we want to like put it on like 2 or 4 for like 2 minutes. See, this is part of life of having autism. You have to be very exact with everything. So kitchen timer, 2 minutes, and we'll turn that on when we start mixing. So let's go. Now at this point, I'm going to scrape the sides, and I also want to put a little bit of coconut oil and ghee in there because those things are really good for adding a little bit of extra flavor. Everyone needs a little bit of fat in their diet. We don't want it to be over the top, but fat is good for you. Good fat, that anyway. Bad fat is not good for you. So we'll, and probably not quite that much. No, a little more than that. We'll throw that in there. Yeah, that coconut oil should help give it a little bit of flavor. Now, if I could find like an organic chocolate chip, I would put some of that in here as well because like, oh my gosh, double chocolate muffins are the bomb. But I haven't found anything quite yet that's good enough to use, so we're just gonna make do. I decided to make cupcakes. The nice thing about cupcakes is, if you're over here and you're cooking with expensive cake mixes like me, it's worth it to have it all to yourself. So it's easier to keep it all to yourself if you make cakes. There you go. It smells like cake mix. It looks like cake mix. Little tip I learned from my mother: an ice cream scoop is good for stuff like this. So like we want like 1 or 2 scoops of the ice cream scoop. Ooh, look at that. Oh yes, that's perfect. Already preheat the oven to 350, so now we're gonna put this in the oven. Alright, so the cupcakes are done. Let's take them out of the oven. Oh my gosh, they smell so chocolatey. I love it. Yes. You're done. Yeah, they are done. Yeah, this is beautiful. All right, so we need to let the cupcakes cool. So while they're cooling off, I'm gonna make the frosting. We need 2 cups of confectioners sugar. So the hippie store had this confectioner's sugar substitute. So I'm gonna use that today. Recipe calls for 2 cups of this. Yeah. This is what the attachment we want to use. I'm going to want to use to mix up my frosting, but I don't want it to be in the way. Sit that down. Here, now let's try it like this. So yep, it looks like confectioner's sugar. It tastes like confectioner's sugar, but it's healthier. It calls for 1/4 cup of butter. So I'm gonna dump my ghee in there to use that. And yeah, the nice thing about ghee is that even if you use ghee instead of butter, it makes it taste even more wholesome than butter versus margarine. This is being slow. Alright, so I put tape on this and then cut like a bit of star formation in order to get like that wavy effect. Then one more, this one. Then the rest of them we're gonna do white frosting since color, food coloring isn't that great, so. All right, I have me some cupcakes. All right, folks. Now, after all of our cake making endeavors, let's find out how this thing tastes. Ah, this is kind of hot.
Is that ghee on the top?
No.
Is there any ghee in it?
Yes, there's ghee in it, but... Okay, it looks like a normal cupcake.
A little bit.
Tough, but... Alright, folks. Let's see how healthy cake making went. Tastes alright. So, I don't know. I wish I didn't make such sweet frosting. But otherwise, tastes alright. I think it was a success.
Happy birthday, Annika.
Thank you. So you guys have seen the vlog about me making my birthday cake in spite of having a bunch of allergies and sensitivities. This vlog, it's about not letting your chronic illnesses and disabilities stand in your way. But for those of you who have been watching, you know that I have high functioning autism, and this vlog would not be complete if I didn't do something, as a victory over autism. So there's this weird misconception going on that autistic people can't have piercings and tattoos, which is crazy. Like, we can do this. I mean, yes, it's harder for us, but there's a lot of things that are harder for us, and we still do them every day. So I am filming this vlog to prove that autistic people can get piercings. Today I'm going to be getting a conch piercing performed, so let's go. Hey guys, so I just got back and look at that, it looks so good. I really like it. It actually wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. Like, all of the piercing advice websites tell you that this type of piercing is the most painful ear piercing you can get, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, I am still able to say it's hard to see this top guy in the camera because of lighting and such, but I will still say that this top guy right up here, if you can see that, is still the most painful piercing I've ever gotten. It was a pretty good experience. I enjoyed it, and yeah, the piercer was super professional, and so overall, well, I can't say enjoyable because I mean, piercings hurt, but it was a good experience. Now, in light of me stating that I'm doing this as a victory over autism, to elaborate on that a little bit, there seems to be this really weird stereotype going around. It's like, I don't even know where this came from, but there's this weird stereotype going around that autistic people can't have can't get piercings or tattoos or do any of that stuff because of sensory overload, which is total baloney. I mean, yeah, this will have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, this is the 13th time I've gotten pierced, and I have 8 piercings. Some of them had to be re-pierced, long story. But anyway, so I kind of wanted to give some guidelines on that, because like I know some people with autism watch this, and like, you know, you may be watching this and be like, well, I want to do some of this stuff. Do you have any advice? Honestly, my biggest piece of advice, saying that you can't get a piercing or a tattoo because you have autism is like saying that you can't go out in public or socialize because you have autism. That's totally not true. A lot of us have a much harder time socializing than other people, and we may have to jump over more hurdles and through more loops to be successful, but that just because it's harder doesn't mean it's impossible. As for the actual process itself, it's like I've talked to people with tattoos, so like it's like I have more advice on getting tattoos than piercings, but even with so, my best advice if you're really concerned, make sure you go to a professional shop. I went to a tattoo shop today. At tattoo shops, that's typically where you're going to find the professional piercers. So make sure you go to a professional, and a guy who doesn't use a piercing gun. Tell your piercer that you have autism. Just tell them. A good piercer is not going to judge you, is not going to treat you differently, and won't turn you away. A good piercer, they're just going to, they'll make accommodations for you, whatever you need. Like, you know, they will. They're a lot nicer than what people stereotypically think they are. Now, if you have autism and you want to get a tattoo and you're concerned, and like I said, this is just stuff I know from talking to other people with tattoos or who've been through the experience. My best advice is tell your tattoo artist that you have autism, and tell them about any quirks or stims or anything that they should be concerned about, especially if it might interfere with the process. The tattoo artist, like I said about the piercers, the tattoo artists are typically, like a good one is typically going to be really understanding and willing to accommodate you. They can do things like take breaks. They can do things like work around any stims or anything like that. It's like a good tattoo artist is going to be willing to accommodate you. So don't just let the fact that you have autism hold you back. I mean, like I said, it's more difficult, but it's not impossible. Anyway, thank you so much for watching my birthday vlog. If you liked what you saw today, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, and then be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Also, be sure to hit the bell so that you can receive notifications on all of our future videos. We are on social media, and you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And you can find us under the username Joyful Mama. Otherwise, we'll also include those links in the description below. If you happen to live in western Wisconsin and you're looking for a good place to go, the place I went, Anchor's End Tattoo, I really like them because they're super professional. They're super accommodating, and their prices are pretty reasonable. I'll recommend another place too that I've gone to before. It's called Impulse Inc. That place is really good too, and the biggest thing I really like about that is like a lot of people are afraid of going into tattoo shops because you're like thinking of this really like dimly lit dank room with all the biker dudes with big sleeve tattoos and super fierce and menacing and totally sketchy. And no. Impulse Inc. is nothing like that. And if you're really nervous about going into a certain environment, I would recommend Impulse Inc. That place, it really has this nice relaxing kind of like an Asian vibe. And when I went to get my first major piercing, which was this cartilage one, I really appreciated going to a place where it was low-key and super relaxing rather than this stereotypical idea of walking into a tattoo shop. So I will link both of those places in the description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye now.